Can the mortgage broker influence the appraiser to increase the property value?
No, we can't actually. No.
But you can, right? No. Welcome back to part 2 of episode number, and
Number question mark.
We cannot figure it out.
We did something, and anyway, so we're back again with Jordan Lee from Vine Group, yes, and Dimitri Ramirez, of course,
Yes.
and the whole crew. So we're bugging Jordan about her script and her dialogue for this show, and so we're just stressing her out. Like, we have 1,000 questions, but we're gonna give you a little break.
Yes.
We're gonna go back to the food. So Dimitri, what are we doing now? What do you want me to bring to you?
You bring me that platter over there, right, with the steaks.
I always told you I would find you a hunk of meat.
She hasn't made it though.
Okay, don't get me started.
But now we have a hunk of meat.
What she was gonna say. I really want to know what she was gonna say.
There you go.
Don't get me
started there.
So anyways, this is our lovely flank steak that has been marinating all afternoon, right? And of course, we have our vegan or vegetarian, Portobello.
You actually marinated this all afternoon?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that part. What did you marinate with?
Well, the marinade is lime juice, a little bit of olive oil.
Yes.
And if you want the doses, I can definitely come up.
Sure.
Like Greeks don't measure anything, like any cook.
It's just
right?
this, a little that.
Right. So 6 cloves of garlic, and that's key, right?
Oh, it's all in the garlic.
It's all in the garlic.
There you go.
Kind of.
You literally can't have too much garlic.
Exactly. I'm glad. Oh my God.
I think in the next show, Jordan's gonna come on. She's gonna cook for us, right?
Yeah.
Me and her.
Fine. I'll drink the wine. I'll do the serving.
Just for the record, this smells like amazing.
I hope it tastes amazing.
It actually smells really, really good. I'm loving it.
Right. And for the Pico de Gallo, essentially the base is tomatoes, and you can use canned or fresh. So today we have all fresh ingredients except.
Good thing he's not on the mic.
Okay. Except the corn, because obviously it's not quite corn season, but we could have had, on the barbecue while we're cooking to do the corn as well. So anyways, we have cucumber, we have tomatoes, red pepper, sweet peppers, right? And just a tad of whatever you call these.
Jalapeno?
Jalapenos, yes.
I know something.
Thank you. Oh my God. Sometimes I kind of like, my tongue goes faster than my brain, right? So anyways, and of course avocado. And again, the dressing is lime juice and olive oil. Now you could use other oils if you don't have olive oil, but being Greek and
olive oil purist.
Yes,
I get it.
So anyways, and on top of that, we prepared some purple sweet potatoes.
That's amazing. I can't wait to dig into this.
Yeah,
this is
so
awesome.
anyways, and the sweet potatoes will be again, dressed with the Pico de Gallo, and everything will be amazing.
Awesome.
Like the flavors and the smell. I mean, we're just talking off camera of how well it's like you sit here and you kind of take in the aromas, right? The fresh, because it's also fresh and so summery. So that's it. That's what we're doing today.
So let's get to rapid fire questions for
Jordan.
Jordan.
You do the rapid fire. I'll be the rapid chopping.
Okay.
You sit here.
Sorry. You ready?
Let's
you
go.
ready?
Let's do
you
it.
ready? Okay, 1, 2.
Wait, are these like one-word answers or like what am I doing? Am I giving? Because I can talk forever. So
How did you get into mortgages?
It was the first job that I ever had out of university. I went right into wealth management at Scotia. Then I was a mortgage specialist at Scotiabank on the #1 team in Canada. And then I moved over to the broker side in the pandemic.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So did you also help people with private mortgages or just like?
Everything.
So
B, credit union, private.
Credit unions. Tell us about credit unions because I hear credit unions sometimes you get amazing deals.
Yeah. So credit unions, people think those are alternative lenders, but they're actually A lenders. They're just like, they're not big banks, but they are A lenders. And the best use of them is really for your insured clients. So you're less than 20% down, they will almost always beat the big banks on interest rates. So that's the best thing about the credit unions. They also have some really fun programs that the big banks don't have, and so we use them quite a bit.
Okay.
And a lot of the credit unions as well, or the monoline lenders, monoline meaning that they only do mortgages, so they're not a depositing bank, they only do the mortgages, backed by, of course, some of the bigger banks. With those guys, you can't get access to them unless you go through a mortgage broker. So they're not like, they don't take clients unless you have a mortgage broker to go through them.
Okay, interesting. So do you have like a favorite bank that you like to deal with?
No, and that's the best side of the broker side. I mean, my favorite bank before would have been Scotiabank because I worked there, but I left the banker side so that I couldn't have a favorite bank, so I can actually have customizable solutions for my clients and whatever fits them. So I have no favorite.
First-time home buyers,
yes.
Where would you prefer to place them? Which bank?
Oh, again, though, it just depends on the client. And that's the benefit of the broker side, is that you actually listen to the client's needs and there's a best fit for every different type of client. Right now, if you ask me, the monoline lenders are the best for your first-time home buyers, your insured clients. TD is a top competitor right now. TD is extremely competitive.
What makes them competitive?
The interest rates. The interest rates right now, yeah, they're very competitive. They tend to be very competitive in general, but they're really challenging the other banks right now. So TD, I guess. And this is as of like May though. Things can shift.
Okay, so how much money do you need to make to buy a $1 million house?
$1 million house, so that's a little bit of a trick question because it depends on your debts as well. I mean, if we're talking straight clean income and $1 million, so you need 20% down, so you need an $800,000 mortgage.
What?
Do the math.
That's the average purchase, right? Like the average house in the market.
We're talking houses.
Yeah.
We're talking houses. We're probably back up to like what between 1.1 and 1.2, right?
Okay.
I'd say on average. Right, yeah. So anyway, if we're talking $1 million, 20% down, 200,000 down, you need an 800,000 mortgage. You need about 200,000 of income, and this is assuming like no debts to minimal debts. The biggest debts for first-time home buyers are always going to be a car loan and lease, and student loans. That's typically so. Something else, pro tip on the student loans, and even the car loans. Pro tip on the student loans though is that a lot of clients try to they do that increased payment because they want to get rid of their student loan quicker.
Yeah.
But you can go back to OSAP or whoever your student loan provider is and go back down to the minimum payment, which helps a lot with affordability. And same with car loans.
They're allowed to do that? So you can actually, if you have an OSAP loan, you can actually go back to OSAP and say, hey, reduce, I want to buy a house?
Yep, you can reduce your pay. I have a client who was on a fast track making like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were making $550 a month payment because it's really the only payment they have and they want to pay off their OSAP loan, but it messed with their affordability. So I told them to call OSAP and see what they could bring it down to, and it was like $80. So it changed their affordability like hugely.
Wow.
Same with car loans. We actually have a product where we can refinance car loans as well, so we can reduce the payment if that helps with affordability. So it's lots of solutions.
Okay, so Jordan, can your parents give you money to buy a home?
100%. Yes, your parents, and that's a lot of what first-time home buyers do, and it's so simple. I think clients get like worked up and stressed, and the parents especially get stressed about what that means. Yeah. It's literally a templated gift letter from the bank. Every bank has their own version. It's like a name, an amount, a signature, and that's it. So it's like very simple.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll go back to rapid questions, but Dimitri, show us the plates.
Oh, look at that. I mean, can you just see the meat?
And the juices.
And the juices, which we will obviously put on our plate and everything. And I was just going to chop some of the potatoes, right? And we can all, kind of, everything is ready. Once we finish with the rapid fire, I think.
But I want to get through these so we can eat.
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, to go back and the smell, the aroma, right?
I can't be in this room for much longer. I think
we're all salivating.
Okay, so I want to ruffle some feathers.
Yes. Okay.
Because I asked you which favorite bank. So let's talk about pre-con versus resale. So everyone's screaming pre-con. In fact, a client called me and says, I want to buy pre-con. I'll buy it cheaper and I will make a huge profit and I can sell it before I get closing.
I'd love to know where they're buying it cheaper than resale.
Me too. Me too.
That's almost where I'll leave it. And I love all my pre-con realtors, but I think I can't understand the projected pricing and what we've seen in the market. I mean, we know that clients who are closing on their builder properties today, we're luckily coming back into a pretty good market in real estate. But I mean, if you asked 5 months ago, things weren't appraising. qualifying in terms of qualifying interest rates, clients weren't able to afford. So how can you predict where your situation is going to be in 5 years? How can you predict where the market's going to be in 5 years? And not only that, it's not like we are 10 years ago when they were selling the condos pre-con at
200.
Yeah, like, and then you buy 10 and you're just like, okay, these are going to appreciate. You're buying them at like 800 to a million, 800,000 to $1 million on a condo. So I'm just curious where the numbers come from, the projected numbers come from, the confidence that their client is going to make money on this. And it's just, I think you just have to be very cautious of what you promise your clients. That's
Okay, I got a few more questions for you. Okay, so rapid fire. We'll leave pre-con. Okay, can someone other than your parents gift you a down payment?
Yes, a grandparent or a sibling, so immediate family member.
Only immediate family.
Immediate family member. You can get an exception to aunts and uncles though, and I have done.
But no friends.
Friends, no.
Okay, what is the difference between alt lenders and private lenders? Happens all the time. What's the difference between alt lenders and private lenders?
Technically, a private lender can be considered an alt lender, but you skip the level, which is B lending. So you have A, B, and then private. B lending is where you'll typically find a 1% fee on the loan amount. And then the interest rate is only about 1% higher than the A lender. So it's not as aggressive. The privates, you're looking at 2 to 3%, and you're looking at like
more, right?
Yeah, or more on fees, and then 8 to 10% on interest rates. So there's a big difference on those guys.
Okay. Do alt lenders need to adhere to the B20 guidelines? No. What is the B20 guidelines?
It's the stress test.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. That's simple.
Okay.
I have someone asking me live questions. So, should I look into condos as investments?
Yes, but you should, I think it's more of an appreciation than a cash flow. I think to expect that you're going to cash flow positive, which, you know, I have a lot of opinions on this because as an investor, you don't want to cash flow positive. It's not tax efficient for you. You actually either want to break even or be in a deficit for your taxes, right? Or else you'll pay more income. So you're really looking at it from an appreciation perspective. So yes, but if you have, and mostly I say people go to condos though because of affordability. So sorry, not a rapid
I love condos.
answer.
No, but that's okay. So we'll continue. Okay, 3 more questions and then we're gonna cut out. My video guys are freaking out because they're like, you're going over. We're going over. Okay, so what about second properties? How can I maximize the equity in my home to use to invest?
So you would just simply refinance if affordability is there. You refinance the property you have, pull out the equity, use that as a down payment to purchase your next property.
I always wanted to ask this question.
Yes.
Can the mortgage broker influence the appraiser to increase the property value?
No, we can't actually. No.
But you can, right? No.
They are a third-party source. So people also think appraisers come from the bank. They think it's from the bank, but they're actually third-party.
Third parties. Okay, so we can't grease them. Okay, just double checking.
And just for the record, they call the realtor. They don't call us.
Exactly.
So
Fair enough.
out of this equation. Yeah, I just order it.
What are the penalties to break a mortgage to buy a new property? And are there any?
Yes, definitely. The penalties are either going to be 3 months interest or interest rate differential. 3 months interest is related to when it's a variable term mortgage, or if it's in a fixed term and interest rates are actually lower than what your rate is today. So today our rates, like clients are in 2% rate from 3 years ago, and they want to break their mortgage to buy something today, their penalty will only be 3 months interest. But in a higher, if the interest rates are lower when you're breaking your fixed term mortgage, it's based on interest rate differential. That's when you get into like the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
That's interesting. Again, another interesting point, right? Because if you want to break your mortgage, buy a new, then
there are options to port though, and also that's why with investors we always recommend the variable. I know the variable, like people have PTSD.
You can port a fixed PTSD. Hey, you have PTSD from your mortgage.
I think he's exaggerating right now. I think people are like traumatized by what we're going through. So a lot of clients don't like to hear the advice to go for a variable. For investors, it makes sense though, because flexibility is their most
you can
important.
sell 3 months interest, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, ask how it works when a corporation is looking to buy a property.
When a corporation is?
Yeah, so why can't,
holding companies only.
Okay, explain that.
So holding companies mean that we don't have any revenues coming into it. It's literally just holds assets. But we can't have it coming from you can't have an operating company own a property. We can use the revenues from an operating company towards the affordability if the client is 100% share owner though. Once you start to divvy that up, and not all applicants or all not all the people on the holdco are on it.
Yeah.
That's where it gets challenging. So yes to holdcos and no to operating companies.
Okay, awesome. Okay, last question. How can you increase the value of your home with renos?
How can you
Increase the value of your home with renos.
Is that a question?
Renovations.
I know, but is that,
I know, but I
mean,
want it from a mortgage perspective, a mortgage broker perspective, because they're gonna come in and refinance their home to
yeah. I
do the
mean,
renovation.
yeah. Oh, so you mean just from from taking out equity?
Yeah.
So same thing as buying a property.
Okay.
You're just refinancing, taking out the equity, whether in a line of credit or a mortgage, and then you're just using that to add value to your home.
Awesome. Well,
that's good.
I want to thank you so much for coming on our show today. This is a lot of fun,
Thank
right?
you.
And so, although we love
Love
asking
all
you,
around.
yes, we love asking lots of questions. We're gonna plate the food now.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
this is where Dimitra gets to show her talent.
My talent? Okay, all
And-
right.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
look at this. I mean, I hope everybody
So,
likes.
yes, so Jordan, thank you again for coming on our
Thank you
show.
for having me.
And if the audience has
I'm
any
so hungry for
questions, if they want to contact you, how do they get a hold of you?
You can email me at Jordan, my name, jordan.lee@vinegroup.ca, and my phone number, always available, 416-451-8057, or Instagram, Jordan Lee Mortgages.
There you go. And
Oh, no! L-E-E.
awesome. Well, thank you all. Thanks for watching The Secret Ingredients of Real Estate, and I'm going to see you guys at episode number. We'll see you next time, guys. Take it easy.